all know that in the new education policy, the objectives of this policy, which I mentioned in my introduction, that skill development courses will be introduced more and more. Focus and thrust will be given for the skill development apart from the regular mode of the curriculum, and skill based the mode of the various courses will be introduced in the curriculum of the what you call as the higher education institutions, including the colleges and universities. So I have taken the liberty to talk more on how the skill based development or skill development, which is very important for the higher education institutions, especially the colleges and universities, and what the new education policy has focused for that, which I would like to focus in this the lecture today. And skill development is what the focus given by the Gandhiji, the revisiting Gandhian views on vocational education. He mentioned that taken as a whole, a vocational and vocations are the best mentioned for all down the development of the body of the boy or a girl, and therefore the syllabus should be more oriented to the vocational training or the training related to the skill development. That was the focus and mentioned by our Gandhiji in early of 1940s. So what they required is that our Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, he mentioned that we need to give importance to the skill development, because this way can be given the end and the unemployment. So the skill development will give the opportunities for the employment, which will be giving more focus for the employment for that. And he mentioned in this what be the current requirement of the skill development for the students. So the introduction. So what is skill development? We must know that skill. What do you mean by the skill? The skill means the ability to do something well, or something which way to precision. So it will focus to that. So it will be focus is the ability. So creation of the ability for that. What do you mean by the development? The development means to develop by adding something new. So something new, and new in terms of the innovative. So as a whole, the skill development means to add something more to the abilities that we have, and to move it in a step ahead so as to keep on the developing. So it's a sustainable way. I mean, developing something, developing of what the abilities. So the abilities should be developed for that. So the skill means the ability, and the development should be about the developing and adding something innovative and new. Altogether, skill development means. So in other words, the skill development is the process. Of number one, identifying your skill gaps, and developing and honing the skills. So what are the various types of the skills? So there are currently two types of skills available. One is the core skills. Number two is the secondary skills. So what the core skills signifies? The core skills refers to those skills absolutely need to have in order to perform our task. So in order to perform our task, it is absolutely essential. So that is called the core skills. So they are directly tied to the outcome. So the core skills will be mostly the outcome based. So outcome based. So without these core skills, we cannot function properly in the task. We cannot perform the function effectively. So that's why we said, which is very important. That's why they mentioned that the core skills. So these core skills, which have been again divided into three. Number one is the linguistic skill, the study of their languages. And then number two is the imagination, creation, creativity, imagination skill. Number three is the story writing skills. So these are the common way, the types of skills in the core skills. Then next we will come to the secondary skills. What do you mean by the secondary skills? So these are the skills which are nice to have and not to have to achieve the desired output. Again, these secondary skills which includes number one, the pitching skills, the designing skills, the time management, and the time to think, and then written and verbal communication, and then teamwork, then openness to the feedback. And these are all the what do you mean that the secondary skills. Again, apart from the core skills, the secondary skills also very much important. Important. So why these skills are to be developed? Why these skills are to be developed? So here, in today's age of the globalization and the technologies, with reference to the volatile, the volatility, and then still building, it's all important instrument to have to increase the what efficacy, the efficacy and quality of the labor for the improvement of what number one, the productivity and economic growth. So that's why the skills are very much essential for the development. So ultimately what it focuses that the skill is developed to for what number one, to increase the employment opportunities, to increase the employment opportunities. Number two, they increase the career development opportunities, employment opportunities, and they create the career development opportunities. And then it also has the personal growth also. It increases or improves the personal growth also, and altogether it increase our knowledge and understanding of our local industry. So the main focus, all have been focused for the skills are very much important, and that must be the developed for the today's age of the globalization and technological the world. So next, why it is necessity? What is a necessity? Why it is necessary to number one, to survive in the advancing world. To survive in the advancing world, skill development is very much essential. That's why we used to tell always that the Darwinism, the survival of the fittest, survival of the fittest. And the number two, to complete with other the advanced persons. So here to complete with the other advanced persons, to complete by developing the skill which is most important for the necessity. Number third is to come at the higher level to and to achieve a access in a success way. So to bring the higher level of any individual or student, and this is must be essential for that, for the skill development. And fourth and finally is to develop the nation. Ultimately, the skill development is very much essential to develop our Indian subcontinent, the other people coming in the field also. So leave the greediness for the aside and altogether. So the lot of the hierarchy of the skills have been now focused in the literature. And what are the hierarchy? So it is like a pyramid structure. It is like a pyramid structure in the skill development. What is the skill development? All has been focused in that. So I think the base is what is required for the student is the acquiring basic knowledge, acquiring the basic knowledge, and when, what, and know all have been is the base or the foundation for the student. The next level hierarchy will be the apprentice to learn something. So here the motivational use of the knowledge. So number based on the acquiring the knowledge, and we should have the motivation for that knowledge, and which has a key role, that is a play for that, and which will be in the apprentice stage. And third stage will be the specialist. Once you become the learning something in the form of a apprenticeship, and later will be a specialist. You will be a specialist for that. What? The purposeful use of the knowledge, and mainly in terms of the work. Once you have the work culture, and definitely you will have a purpose of the use of the knowledge, and you will become a specialist. Then after specialist, you will be expert in the skill development. How? Creative use of the skills to resolve the problems by identifying the constraints and lacuna, and then problems. You have to create the skills to resolve the what unidentified one into identified one. So that will be the role of the expert, and it's called the what do you call this, the solve. And then next is the craftsman. So here the craftsman will be the final of the position in the hierarchy, and then which will be later of doing all this base work, and then you will become a craftsman. You will become a craftsman. What? Creating new knowledge of skills, and then creative the new knowledge of the skills, products, service, leadership. So ultimately, you will be a leader of a particular skill in that, by inventing, and you become a craftsman. So these are the hierarchy of the skill, the development in a way. And one day skills to be developed. So what are the skills? There are number of skills I am going to mention here, and in and then also in a broader way, and then we'll see what each one by one. The number one skills to be developed is the numeracy. It's related to the number. Number two, communication skills. I think it indicates the communication, verbal communication, or whatever the communication through any type of their language, either the local vernacular language or the foreign language. So skills must be essential for that. And then the negotiation. Then fourth is the problem solving skills. Problem solving, by identifying the constraints, we can solve the problems, and knowing the skills, and you can develop. And then leadership skills. So this will be a bringing to, as I mentioned in the pyramid structure of the hierarchy, and then leadership will be ultimately the last. And then management skills. You can develop the governance system of the skills, and then decision making. Once you become a leader, I think alternatively you will become a decision making, the manager, and then team player. So if you are involving a group of the persons, you will be a team player, and team player skills. And then presentation skill, how to present and focus of your particular the informations in a presentable way. There is a presentation skill. Analytical, by applying your mind, by applying your brain, and in creating and instrumenting your brain, you can bring the analytical skills. And then commercial, the awareness, how to sell the product, how to bring a product into in a commercial viable way. And it's called the commercial skills and awareness. And then enterprise, and entrepreneurial skills, how to become an entrepreneur, and what are the skills to be developed for to become a successful entrepreneur. And then selling skills, how to selling a product, and then writing skills in an effective way. So these are the different types of the skills to be developed. Number one, the numeracy skills. So the numeracy skills refers to the ability to use and interpret and communicate what the mathematical information. As I mentioned, I is the number. So how the mathematics is applied, and then what we require in this mathematics is the addition, the subtraction, the division, and the multiplication. By applying all these basic fundamental rules of the mathematics, you can apply in the numeracy skills. And this skill includes what? The calculation skills, and then budgeting. You can make it budget for any proposals, and then interpreting and of the mathematical information in how in effective way, and understanding the relationship between the numbers in the numeracy, and understanding the trends of the numbers in the skills, and then the measurement. Finally, if you know all these things, you can measure and later you can analyze the data what you are given the input in the terms of the numeracy and the skills. Communication skills. So you need to develop, are able to express yourself consciously to impress the any graduates or the recruiters or anything. So the communication skill is very much important for that. So here the communication is really more a package than an individual skill. So here it has communication is not just for what you say, it's also how you are presenting yourself, how effectively you are presenting by way of the effective communication through a effective language, either in Tamil or in English or any other Indian the languages. So being able to phrase the right questions in an important skill is the communication skill, not saying too much. So it should be of effective and precise and word in terms of that is a good communication. So understanding the audience and tailoring what you say is essential to the student's job, the hunter's access. So the communication skill is most important. I think students are very much in need for these communication skills for the what? For the job, the placements, for search of the job. I think communication skill is most important. That's why all the corporates used to set the communication skills ability. Negotiation. The negotiation skill is a method by which people settle the differences. It is a process by which compromise or agreement is reached while avoiding the argument. So I think before having any process to be solved, the negotiation is most important. So the process of the negotiation, which includes what? Number one, we need to prepare, and then we need to discuss, I think, to avoid any conflict, and then the clarification it requires for to achieve certain goals, to negotiate towards a win-win, the solution, and finally the outcome. Then later you can make an agreement of the based on your discussion and the preparation of your document, and finally you can implement. So here, negotiation is most important for any type of the product which you are required to settle the issues. Problem solving skills is all about using the logic as well as the imagination. So the problem solving abilities which includes, I think, we have to apply our mind. We have to apply our mind by way of what? The analytical skills. Analytical skills. In best way, the best problems solvers actively anticipate the potential, the future, predicting the future, what to develop for that, how to answer for that, and how to rectify for that. We require the analytical skills. And also what they required is the innovative and creative thinking, most important. Before to solve any problem in the skill development, innovative creativity is most important for that, and will be a mindset. And then later we need adaptability and flexibility, which all will be a initiative and resilience for that. Leadership, I think this is most important. Currently the students require these skills. I think we have to develop the leadership skills by way of the active listening of the others speech, and then the empathy, then creativity, and then ability to inspire and convince the others, which requires the leadership. So the leadership skills are most important to reach the goal for that. So I think for any project for that leading your project, the leadership is most important to, I think it will be a key role in the players, ultimately by adopting the flexibility, and then inspire, and then they attract the others. By way of the leadership, I think we need to have the management skills. So management skills can be defined as certain the attributes or abilities that can executive should process in order to achieve the specific tasks in an organization. Suppose you are running an institution or any organization, you must have a thorough understanding of the system, to a thorough understanding of the system, and then to govern, and then to make a good governance. The managerial skills is most important in an organization, which includes, again, you need to have a leadership position and the leadership skills, and then planning, a proper planning, and the strategy is most important. Communication, to have a better management in effective or a successful management, you require to have a communication good at English, and then organizational the setup, and then a decision making. Once you become a leader, once you have entered into the managerial skills, I think decision making skills can be a very important, and how to apply for that. It may be including what you have a reasoning. You have a reasoning by knowing the institution, by knowing the teamwork of the players in the organization, and then applying your emotional, the intelligence, your intelligence and creativity, the decision making will be for that. For any type of the good governance, the decision making is very important for a good governance under your the leadership. So that is most important. And not only for that, for individual role in that, in also required for the your collaborations, your collaboration in terms of the team player skills, the team player skills, and then this is most important in a group, in a group. So when the team players actively listen to their co-workers, what they are doing. So I think it requires to have a decision in a concerted way. I think we have to listen to the co-workers' voice, and then co-workers' speech, and then co-workers' decision. And later you can conclude in a welcome collaboration, and then hold your accountability and by way of the flexible, and finally make the program or make a governance into a successful, make it. And this will mainly by the attribute by the team player skills. Presentation skills. Presentation skills include everything you need to effectively execute in every stage of a speech or a presentation. So which requires what? The research. You have to research the focus, and then the organization, what type of the organization in terms of the delivery, and then later you must know that what is the post delivery of the presentation of any items or any skill oriented, and then what it regularly required for the well organized setup and for the analysis. So, and then here the analytical skills. I think analytical skills refer to the ability to research, and the ability to the research, and mainly to solve the complex problems, the complex problems, to solve the complex problems, and what finally to interpret the data to gain what the more knowledge about the particular the subject, which involve what you have to research the problem, and then forecast the problem, understand the problem, and then you make a problem into solvable one, and then you have to mine the data, and you have to analyze the data what they are giving in the financial budget or any type of the data they are giving, and then what metrics you have to make it, and by way of the proper interpretation, and then finally you have to make it by way of the applying your mindset into a reporting. Finally you have to bring it in a report form, and what we require is the commercial awareness. I think this is mostly related to selling the products, selling the product. In nutshell, the commercial awareness is, I think, is not. I think will not be a success for that. Mainly, unless otherwise we know the in-depth knowledge about the creativity of the selling of your products. So you have to think. You have to think. For example, what industry you are hoping to work in. So what is engineering? What is the journalism? What is as a retail? And what type of medicines? I think it requires a lot of the skills related to sell your product or to market your product. All we require is the commercial awareness of that. So here, which includes the branding. The branding, I think the effective way of the branding is very much essential to sell your the product, and to see that skills to be developed for the entrepreneur. Once you become an entrepreneur, you must know the skills related to the fully the enterprising personality. What you require is the entrepreneurial skills that can be applied to many and different the job roles and industries, and then and developing your entrepreneurial skills that can give you a more opportunities to the job seekers. Job seekers. Once you become an entrepreneur, you can give a job to the others. The job seekers. What you require is you must have a good entrepreneur. You must need a management skill, business management skill, and then you require a holistic of the teamwork and leadership, and then good the communication skills, and the listening skills, the customer service skills, the financial skills, the strategic skills, technical skills, and then branding, as I mentioned, branding, marketing, networking. I think to become an entrepreneur, I think you must need a multifaceted, you must be a multi-person personality, knowing all these skills, then only you can become a successful entrepreneur. So this will deal with the entrepreneur skills. Marketing skills is a promoting any product, promoting any goods, service, or an idea in the encompass of the many different marketing skills. So which requires the personal qualities of the what the process begins with analyzing your ambience towards the audience and defining their perception of what their required for a particular product, the service, or the idea. So for this, you must have a marketing skills. So know their customers and markets. I think you must know both. You must know the brain and the culture of the seller and buyers. So then only you can be a successful in the marketing skills. For that, you require this is most important, writing skills. Writing skills, which includes the knowledge or the ability to express your ideas in the writing, written word, in terms of either the local, the vernacular language, or English language, or any other Indian language. So the writing skills are important because they allow the people to get a point across without being physically present, by knowing just at the expression. Even you can see in many advertisement, very catchy the advertising agents. Even you can see in many medias, they used to focus the writing skills. In one word, they used to mention about their product or the marketing of their own, the marketing, the skills of a particular product or the goods. So the writing skills is most important to attract the buyers or the firms for which it is required, most important. And then I'm going to focus more on the MOOC next. The UGC, even under the new the NEP, new education policy, they mention about the new the criteria or the concept is the massive open online courses, which is otherwise in short form an abbreviation called MOOC, MOOC, what you call the online courses. The online courses that allow the participants free access and unrestricted participation to any number of the skill-oriented courses of their choice. So beside the conventional modes of the teaching, such as lectures, videos, and reading materials, the MOOCs also provide a platform. So MOOC will give you a platform for what? The interactive platforms. So the interactive, the forums. So I think a lot of skills can be communicated through the MOOC, the massive open online courses. Now they are focusing in the current higher education institutions. So it is one of the custom learning. It is one of the custom learning methodologies that encourages self-paced learning, which remains focused on the skills, focused on the skills that the learners, that the students wish to home. So provide a platform. The MOOC is a platform for the interactive forums, and mainly they focus for the skill development. So what are the different types of the MOOC? So MOOCs are further divided into two categories. Number one is the eMOOCs, or CMOOCs. So that is the characteristics massive open online courses, and then next is the that is the extended massive open online course. So both are very much important for that. So number one, the CMOOC, it is all normally share the the digital online learning elements. So digital online learning elements we share and focus on the CMOOCs. In the XMOOCs, which mainly to be based on the content provided. The content provided by the universities and the colleges that normally provide the significant, the research-based content. The platform is mainly focused on the skills related to the research-based content and background on the online learning, the content. So these are the most important two MOOC types under the platform. So now I think to encourage and to create more about the knowledge of the courses related to the skill development. I think various countries are now developing these MOOC courses for the skill development. One which mainly focus is the Coursera. I think the United States they developed this platform, and then edX by the United States again. The Future Learn by the United Kingdom, SWAYAM by the India. India also developed a platform to develop this skill development under the aegis of the MHRD in the umbrella or under the umbrella of the UGC. I think every institution now they are focusing their SWAYAM program under the platform. And then Udacity, United States, and then Cadency, the United States, Canvas Network, United States, and then Stanford, the LaGuardia, the United States, and then Miridax, Spain, and then Mexicox, Mexico, Thai MOOC, Thailand, then NPTEL, again India, and then Chinese University MOOC, and in China they develop. So I think number of platforms are now is available to develop the skills for the development of the students' perception. So why this MOOC is important? So all these MOOC courses have been fixed into a traditional term, and I think it needs to the models of the university. They can start any type or any time. I think any type of the length of the courses. So mainly it makes the platform that gives the more about the courses, the content for the development of the skills. So courses are offered mainly free. So I think all the MOOC courses under the various platforms given by the international agencies are the free, and then access to the courses offered by professors at the top schools I think is now available to the students community, and courses are available to vast and diverse audience across the global level, and then learners performance can be and then monitored easily using the data captured during the start of their courses. So both the professors and the learners, that means the students, get worldwide the exposure of the skill development by improving the pedagogical techniques and the knowledge sharing this. Of course, it has some disadvantages for that. So language will be a barrier sometimes for that, but altogether there are a few drawbacks are there. So these MOOCs have a lot of potential for reinventing the way we learn. So it will be investigating to see that how they progress and how grow over the time that we have to listen for that. So the time will come to give you the reality of the development of the skills through the MOOC courses which are provided by the worldwide contents. And then especially the India is giving a separate platform for the skill development is the SWAYAM. SWAYAM meaning self. SWAYAM meaning the real meaning is a self. That is the study of the verb, or the learning for the young aspiring minds. So the SWAYAM is an initiative launched by as I mentioned, the Ministry of the Human Resource Development under the Government of India, under the Digital India. Under the Digital India to give you a coordination stage and free entry to the web courses. And many web courses for the skill development is now available in the SWAYAM. The SWAYAM can be, I think every institution they can access through the portal. That can be the portal is there. Again, I'm telling it's a free for that. And then MHRD, including the AICT for the technical institution, they can enter and then they can download the variety of the courses are now available through the SWAYAM portal under the the skill development. So why this SWAYAM is important? Because it deals with the skill development, and even the MOOC and SWAYAM has been given emphasis in the new educational policy for that under the Digital India program. So this MOOC platform of SWAYAM serve for a prophylactic the linkage between online learning, classroom learning, and creating a synergy that can create the wonders of for the educational system of the skill development. In addition to that, now India has developed a particular domain for the national skill development, the corporation, NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. They developed, and which is mainly for the development of the knowledge. So under the Ministry of the Finance as public-private partnership PPP model, the Government of India through the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, which is called MSDE, holds 49% of the share capital to develop this NSDC. So a lot of skill development is now they've been focused under the Companies Act of the 1956, a corresponding section of the 8 of the Companies Act 2013. So the main mandate of this NSDCA to support and enable focus on the equality of the assurance to train the academics of the skill development through the partnership with the various educational institutions, and mainly the National Skill Development Corporation NSDCA is for the development of the skills. So and the key initiatives of the NSDCA is the funding and the incentivation skill development programs of but mainly through the soft skills through the sector councils. So a lot of sector councils are there in the NSDCA of the variety of the skills have been developed for the students, the improvement and providing the services such as as I mentioned in the preamble, innovation, skill gap and other studies, and train the trainer. It also the train the trainer programs and initiating the international collaboration for the skill development and creating a sustainable ecosystem for the skill development altogether. I think this is the only way that under the Digital India world of our Prime Minister, the Modi ji, and NSD has been given a momentum thrust for the skill development in the country. In addition to that, now this NSDC is working with 21 universities. NSDC is working with 21 universities for aligning the education and training to the national skill qualification, the framework under the national skill qualification framework for that. And then lot of courses to develop the skill development. The Skill India mission was launched and then with the aim to train over I think the crores of people, more than 40 crores of the people by 2022. Even it has been focused in the new NEP 2020. It is meant to provide the vocational, as mentioned by our Gandhiji, the vocational and certificate courses for the skill development for our young youth for the betterment of the livelihood. They are focused for that, and lot of courses are offered under the skill development programs which are mentioned below. Industrial Training Institutes, NSDA free-based courses, and then Pradhan Mantri and in PMKY, and then NAPS, and then apprentice training, Pradhan Mantri Kausal Kendra, and then technical intern training program, and then Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, and then Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, and then Jan Shikshan Santam, and then these are all the various programs which are comes under the Skill India mission, and definitely this will be beneficial to the students. So all these programs have been focused by the MHRD, which has comes under the institutional mechanisms for skill development to the MHRD higher education. So I think the institutional mechanism for the skill development has been focused through the for the higher education, and lot of focus have been given for that. And first is to incorporate the skill development as a component in the regular higher education courses. That's why I focus that new NEP has given this the thrust. Number two is to offer full-time skill-based degree diploma courses. They have to go, I think, in the next coming years for the new NEP introduced in the various higher education institutions. Third is to offer short-term skill-based courses, orientation, and then you will be in a finished product. So following all the institutional mechanism they have under the institutional mechanism for the skill development, especially for the developing the higher education, a lot of the skill-based the courses, credit banking system, D-linked course duration, outcome-based assessment, input and output-based credit criteria, institutional collaboration for create transfer, and then NGOs-based delivery of skills, the national recognition, finishing schools. So a lot of the opportunities are available under the mission of the framework for the skill development. So I think they are going to have a full-based the national quality assurance framework. So they are going to have the national quality assurance framework. So altogether, it has a variety of the mandate and objectives for the development of the skills. So altogether, it mainly to improve the consistency and industry relevance of the NSQF graduates and closer partnership with industry and other social partners in the higher education institutions. And then it has also improve the quality of the overall education in the higher education institutions, colleges and universities, and for the training the citizens of our students. So it also to develop a skill-based India. Altogether, to develop a skill-based India of highly valued, the productive, multi-skilled workers in India, and then provide a greater transparency and consistency across the entire skills development system, as it provides a common framework for the system in the higher education institution to improve, to monitor, to evaluate the management, and to provide the vision of the skills the development. So the national quality assurance framework has been set up under the aegis of the government of India. So there are some specific initiatives already have been undertaken by the UGC University Grants Commission. I think this have been focused and already have been circulated to all the colleges and universities. The scheme for they mentioned about the major schemes for the UGC in the field of the skill development in the higher education systems. I appeal to all the participants here. They have already introduced a lot of funds. I'm telling you, all the colleges and universities, a lot of funds are available under the development of the skill, the development in the UGC. Now there is a scheme for the community colleges. I think there is a scheme for the communities colleges for the skill development. And then they have introduced already the BWork degree program. I think a lot of institutions are benefiting by introducing the skill development through the BWork degree program. And the knowledge upgradation courses for the skill, human action, and the learning programs. And then credit framework for the skill development based on the vocational courses. And then you can develop MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding with the NSDC. And then development of a model curriculum of the various trades for the courses approval under the NSQA by the UGC. So these are all the various initiatives that have been taken for the skill development, which has been undertaken by the UGC. I think these schemes are plenty. You are very well. You can enter to the website of the UGC. You can see all these programs, and thereby you can adopt any type of the skill development program as a project in your institutions. So in addition to that, we have the challenges. A lot of challenges are now there for that to create the skill development. One is what we required is the inadequate infrastructure. I think NSDCA has predicted, I think, a lot for that. I think to create the infrastructure partner, of course, it has some the lacuna constraints are there to create full infrastructure for every institution, and then low entry and then low industry interface, and then it is one of the challenge, and then low student mobilization. I think our students' mindset has not yet so far changed to improve the skill development of their own. I think we have to more involvement which is required for that, and then low student mobilization for that is a constraint for that. I think we have to create, I think, input for the development, and then direct admission without assessment is one of the constraints, and then the lack of the standardization is also one of the challenges, and then skills relevance, that is most important. The course curriculum of some of the courses of the skill institutes do not provide training that matches the industry's requirement. That's why every institution should have a link with the industry. We call it the industry institution linkages is must for the skill development. So we have to produce the citizens of our institution, and that will be suited to the need of the industries for that. So I think this is is a lacuna here, and that create due to what they mentioned is the poor placement record, and then also the career counseling. Most important that every curriculum we must have a career counseling centers, especially for involvement of the career development courses, and then of course it involves some of the higher cost. But to overcome this, UGC has given a lot of scope for the funding to create the funding, and also the various agencies now will focus through the vision of our planning, the commissions, and then evaluation of the training institutes. Most important skill survey is required based on the regional specific requirement and all together. So what they required is the new education policy which transforms the traditional classroom mere degree system into the skill-based job-oriented the placement system, and which is essential for the new transforming system mentioned in the new NEP 2020, New Education Policy 2020. That was the focus given in that. I have focused and an appeal to all the participants. I think you have to search for that. I think the skill is most important. Mere degree will not be will solve the problem of the employment. I think you want to focus our students to skill oriented, and then more to the job oriented. That is must and predominant. So with this, I would like to conclude that an ecosystem must be created that enables the skilling. What? By creating the education among the youth and generate opportunities for their self-employment. So their self-employment, employment, and entrepreneurship. So every institution must develop the students into self-employment, and then for their own employment, and then entrepreneurship. That's why our Abdul Kalam has to always mention that our institution, our colleges and institutions should not be an incubator. Just, I mean, putting the egg to create the chick. It's not so that our institution must be worthwhile to produce the worthful citizen, worthful employable citizen. Our institution should produce the employable citizens. So that is the focus of the conclusion main here, quoting the Abdul Kalam. And then rural youth constitute a vital part of the outreach of the skill. The majority of our, so we have to focus more for creating the skill development, the new education policy. I think main conclusion. So the new education policy is on its way, and it may have a direct role and directions for integrating the skills in the higher education. That was the focus they have mentioned in so far in the last 1 hour, and which is equal to the academic equivalence to the skill-based courses. The focus mainly on the skill-based courses. So the UGC being the apex regulatory body has taken many initiatives and for making the higher education skill-based for employability enhancement and harnessing the demographic dividends of the country. So that is most important. I think the conclusion is a very set of I think, which required currently for the development of the skill-oriented, the youth for our country prosperity. So talent, to talent. So the talent you have naturally. All the students are having talent naturally. Skill is only developed. Skill is only developed by hours. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your graft. Beating on your graft. The Make in India campaign. The Make in India campaign has taken off and is packed with skill development. It's packed with skill development. It is going to open new vistas. It is going to open new vistas for employment for the youth. It is going to open the new vistas for employment for the youth, according to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Thank you, Varundal, for the patient hearing.